might be the most important video you watch this year. Not to motivate you for 5 minutes, but to permanently change how your mind works. Whether it's your work, your studies, or your training, there is one skill that separates those who move forward from those who stay stuck: focus. And today, focus feels almost impossible. One moment, you're deeply immersed in an important task. The next, you're unlocking your phone without even realizing why. 5 minutes on Instagram, then a quick YouTube video. Suddenly, an hour is gone. And the question hits you: where did my time go? If this feels familiar, hear this clearly. You are not the problem. Your brain is simply running ancient software in a modern world. And the good news is this: software can be reprogrammed. Today, you're going to discover a scientifically validated method that can radically transform your ability to focus in a deep and lasting way, even after a single session. There is a brutal difference between average people and geniuses, and it has nothing to do with IQ, nothing to do with talent. The difference is something I call unstoppable focus. Most people live with fragmented attention. They jump from task to task, thought to thought, stimulus to stimulus. High performers are different. They have trained their brains to sustain deep attention. And here's the most important part: focus is not a gift. It is a neuroplastic skill, which means it can be trained, strengthened, and expanded. But before I show you how, you need to understand one uncomfortable truth. Your brain did not evolve for the modern world. It evolved hundreds of thousands of years ago on the African savanna. Back then, new information was rare. A strange sound could mean food or death. So the brain developed an extreme sensitivity to novelty. Today, that same system is under constant attack. Notifications, endless feeds, alerts, infinite content. Social media platforms and algorithms were not designed to help you focus. They were designed to capture and monetize your attention. Every like, every notification, every scroll releases small bursts of dopamine in your brain. It works exactly like a mild drug delivered in microdoses throughout the day. And just like any addiction, the brain quickly adapts and demands more. The result is predictable. Deep work feels boring. Reading becomes difficult. Thinking feels exhausting. Being fully present feels rare. Let me ask you something. How many times have you checked your phone while listening to this? This is not a lack of discipline. This is neuroscience. Your eyes move before your conscious decision does. First the gaze, then attention, only afterward awareness. That's why you reach for your phone even without notifications. Now, let me shift your perspective. Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Galileo, Copernicus, some of the greatest minds in human history. They lived in a world that would drive us insane today. No Google, no YouTube, no artificial intelligence, no instant information. And yet, they revolutionized art, science, engineering, and medicine. Here is the brutal paradox. We have access to more information than any generation before us, yet we produce less genius. Why? Because we lost something essential: deep, sustained focus. Leonardo could spend long periods observing a single leaf. No distractions, no stimulation, just total presence. Michelangelo painted the Sistine Chapel for years, lying on his back in silence. Newton discovered gravity because he was bored and fully present. We are not less intelligent than they were. Our brains are the same. The difference is the environment. They lived in a state of deep attention because there was no escape from boredom. Either they focused or nothing was created. We live fragmented. We consume information instead of creating knowledge. We react to stimuli instead of directing attention. But this ability can be recovered. Here's a mistake almost everyone makes. They believe focus means forcing themselves to concentrate for hours. Biologically, that's impossible. Attention works in waves. It rises, it falls, it oscillates. This happens because focus depends on the pulsatile release of norepinephrine in the brainstem. In other words, this isn't a flaw, it's biology. The real problem is not knowing how to work with these waves. When you sustain attention on a single point, your brain creates something called long-term potentiation. This is how learning happens. This is how memory forms. This is how complex thinking is built. Each time you sustain focus, you strengthen the neural bridges between neurons. Focus is mental training. The more you practice, the stronger you become. But there's another trap. Sometimes the issue isn't lack of focus, it's excessive focus on the wrong things. This creates attentional lapses. You're focused, but on what doesn't matter. The solution involves training panoramic awareness, a conscious expansion of attention that improves focus almost immediately. If this isn't addressed, a dangerous cycle begins. Constant distraction, low productivity, rising anxiety, deep frustration. Eventually, life feels like autopilot. Focused people tend to be happier, not because their lives are perfect, but because they are present. Distracted minds miss even the good moments. And there's something even more serious. Chronic distraction weakens neural communication. Studies associate this pattern with accelerated cognitive aging. But here's the powerful part. This can be reversed. There's a psychological principle known as the Bannister effect. For decades, experts believed it was impossible to run a mile in under 4 minutes until someone did. Soon after, many others followed. What changed was not the body, it was the mind. The same applies to focus. When you believe deep focus is possible, your brain starts behaving differently. Now the method. This is not spirituality, this is applied neuroscience. Start with low dopamine mornings, no phone upon waking, silence, light reading, presence. Then interoceptive training. Sit with your eyes closed. Bring attention to your breathing and internal sensations. This trains your ability to turn attention inward and strengthens long-term focus. Next, total elimination. Phone away, notifications off, clean environment. We are biologically designed to focus on one thing at a time. Then, sustained focus. Work in deep blocks. Your mind will wander. That's normal. Each time it does, gently bring it back. Every return strengthens attentional control. Finally, strategic breaks. 10 to 20 minutes. During these pauses, your brain consolidates the training subconsciously, reinforcing the neural patterns you just created. The effects are measurable. Better memory, fewer attentional lapses, faster learning, lower anxiety, improved well-being. Practice on alternating days. Short sessions are more effective than long ones. And remember this, focus is not talent, it is training. You have 86 billion neurons ready to be shaped. Science is on your side. The method is in your hands. The only question is this, will you train your mind like a genius or keep giving it away to distraction?